Bitch, are you being so for real right now?
Go watch that video. There is commentary from another creator on there where he talks about not approaching those vehicles because that person is looking for your altercation. They're looking for a confrontation. But I want to take this opportunity to provide an opinion on this. We should be limiting certain forms of expression. Now, I know this concept is very difficult for a lot of people, and I'm going to bring this point up in a couple of videos I'm going to do talking about some more things, but just as the Second Amendment is misinterpreted because it was created a long time ago and is no longer relevant to the current type of firearms available, freedom of speech is also extremely outdated, okay? It is now being abused. A lot of people are using freedom of speech to cover hate speech because they believe that all speech is free and should be protected. That is not the case anymore. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. And here is why it should not be protected, okay? If you are using speech to racially attack people, that's not free speech and it should not be protected. It should be a crime that is punishable at this point. Now, here's the difference. If you made false accusations way back when freedom of speech was new, they did things about that. They did actively go after people who made false claims. They did it in a public court, in a public square. Those things happened. There's evidence of that in history. We don't anymore. You can go make a false claim all the way up to being the president and making false claims and making the general public believe that, and there's no punishment for that whatsoever, even if the actions incite something that is very harmful to people. So we need to be updating our laws based off of amendments. They need reinterpretation at this point. Almost every single freedom needs to be reviewed because it is being abused by one side. As far as vehicles like this that have stickers like this, there should be a system in place where somebody can be ticketed for it. And let me tell you why that is not wrong, okay? If a person of color had stickers that had something hateful towards white people, that car would be pulled over so fast and that person would be beaten, if not worse. But if you're white and you have multiple stickers of firearms on your car with threatening images, threatening text, you get a free pass. That's not free speech. It's not equal speech. It's hate speech on your vehicle. The flying of flags on cars needs to stop. It is a distraction. And it is ridiculous and needs to stop. These things need to be curtailed. And I know, I already expect there are going to be some, homegrown boys and they're going to, well, you can't tell me what to do. Well, it's not telling you what to do. What you're doing is inappropriate. And it is bad for everyone. And the problem is our laws aren't able to be enforced. Or they're just not there. There was a video I was going to stitch on, but it got removed. It was about rolling coal and how it is that really there's nothing that can be done. Like eBay's being sued because they sold parts that allowed you to modify a vehicle so it could roll coal, which was against the EPA. So eBay is getting sued now for that. But if you catch a vehicle rolling coal, you can report it, but nothing's done. Those laws need to be enforceable. The problem is that the people that choose to do things like this, they know there's no enforcement, that nobody can touch them. That needs to change. Our society is deteriorating because the loudmouths that are ignorant are allowed to freely do as they please with no repercussion, as long as you're the right color. And that has to stop. We need to be doing more. And I am all for reviewing every aspect of freedom of speech. But at this point, let me tell you what you're legally allowed to do. You are allowed to write a racist book. You're allowed to write a book about removing an entire population of people. There will be no repercussion. You may have a harder time finding a publisher, but in the end, you can still get it out there. Nobody will stop you. That should not be protected. You have the right to walk into a public place and yell racial slurs at a person of color, and if they strike you, you can sue them for assault. That is not right. That should not be happening. You have the right to post racist propaganda wherever you want, and it's not illegal. That needs to change. Sure, they can ask you to pull it down, but people have won cases where they sue people that force them to do that. That is not how freedom of speech should work. That is not how this should work at all, and it needs to change.